From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
When getting the job done right is job one, you need construction equipment that's built right. With durable Kubota engines, more comfort, and the versatility to do it all. You need the Kubota construction lineup. Right now, write it off the lot and write it off your taxes for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months or save up to $4,000.
Tractors, trailers, rentals.
You do it all, we do it local.
Happy holidays from Weather NorCal and our sponsors. Have a wonderful holiday season.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Kruger. Thank you so much for joining me here for your morning update here on Weather NorCal. Let's get you right to Kruger's Quickcast. Just a quick look at your forecast for the day, and that should help get you prepared for the day today, especially if you have to work outside. There is still another freezing fog advisory. We've been dealing with this fog advisory here every morning since it seems like late last week. Potentially, that fog could turn into freezing fog, which means the potential for some slick roads. So just something to be aware of if you're going to be traveling in the eastern mountains this morning. Out the door this morning, yeah, not quite as cool as it has been, I think, in some spots here, but still some patchy fog, especially along the coast. Temperatures upper 20s, low 30s for many of the higher elevations, and for the valley, probably somewhere in the upper 30s to low 40s for those temperatures at 8 o'clock this morning. So you can see the storm system off to our west. This will eventually have a minor impact on our weather here on Thursday, mainly for Thursday morning, but we'll take a closer look at that and what that means in our deeper dive forecast. But for today, you're still looking at plenty of sunshine. Temperatures in the mid to upper 60s in the valley, 40s and 50s. You know, some of those areas have been struggling to get out of the 30s. Places like Susanville, for example, you've been into the 30s this week. Today should be a bit warmer with a high of about 48 degrees. And for the coast, you're talking about temperatures upper 50s, maybe even some low 60s for some of those warmer spots this afternoon. Taking a look at your 7-day outlook, it's dry. Now, you'll notice a few clouds, especially for Thursday morning, clearing out Thursday afternoon. More clouds on Saturday as a stronger system moves through, but still very weak, by the way. Bottom line, it's going to be dry for the valley through at least the middle of next week. Taking a look at your 7-day outlook for the coast, what's this? Morning drizzle, morning drizzle, morning drizzle for Trinity County too. Maybe a chance for showers Saturday. We'll talk about that in more detail here in just a bit. But for today, as you can see, everyone's seeing those dry conditions, and I do expect dry through Friday. Maybe a chance in Siskiyou County on Saturday as well, but Alturas, Modoc County, Eastern Mountains most likely dry. And then you'll also notice the overall trend for everyone is cooler for next week, just unfortunately not much wetter. All right, that's a look at your Quickcast. Now let's go into the deeper dive and really kind of go into the forecast, not only for today, but really the next 7 to 10 days. So mainly dry and mild the rest of the week. And I say mainly because there's a couple of things we got to watch here. A couple of weak disturbances that'll move through on Thursday, especially Thursday morning, and then again on Saturday. But I do expect mainly dry and cooler for next week. But I am seeing the potential that near the end of next week into that next weekend, maybe a change in our weather pattern for the better, maybe cooler, maybe a little bit wetter as well. So what we're seeing here is this storm system pretty much fizzling out. Why? Because it's moving up and over the ridge of high pressure, and it's just that ridge of high pressure is just tearing the storm apart, and it's not doing anything for us. Now, we've got a stronger system right here. There's an area of low pressure that's developing. You see that spin? We got the cold front associated with that. Now, this one is also going to get broken up by the storm. But since it's stronger, it may survive just long enough for some areas to maybe see some drizzle, maybe a sprinkle or two. But not until tomorrow morning. So there you can see, there's Thursday morning at 4 a.m. You see that? That's that cold front I was just pointing out. That could bring drizzle, maybe a light sprinkle early tomorrow morning. Then by 8 a.m., it's pretty much done with. But I would say that tomorrow morning, Del Norte, all of Del Norte, all of Humboldt, parts of Trinity County and western Siskiyou County. These are the areas that could see some of that drizzle here early tomorrow morning. Otherwise, it's dry, and then it clears out for before noon, really on Thursday. Thursday afternoon looking dry and looks like mainly sunny skies. But look at this on Friday. we may start to see that marine layer get a little bit closer to the coast, which means maybe a little bit more fog developing later this week into this upcoming weekend. All right, so here's the big picture. This is that cold front I was just talking about that could bring us some drizzle here on Thursday. This model doesn't even want to bring it through, but what's happening is this. As we go through the week, on Friday, you got high pressure building in. So the storm's still riding up and over the ridge. But check out this area of low pressure right here. This is actually going to ride to our north, and instead of the ridge doing this, we've got a little dip in the jet stream right here. That's just enough instability to help create some showers. But again, a couple of things to point out. Number one, it's very weak. Number two, it's a fairly moisture-starved system. So you take a look at even the Pacific Northwest, they're not really even seeing much rain or snow out of this. So as it clips Northern California, sure, yeah, we may see a little bit of rain, maybe even some measurable rainfall out towards, say, Del Norte County, for example. But elsewhere, I mean, we're talking maybe a sprinkle, a light shower in Siskiyou County, maybe out towards northern Humboldt County, but I'm not even putting any rain in there for Modoc County. Then that same area of low pressure is going to dive down to the south in the form of an inside slider, and that could pick up those winds from the north on Sunday and Monday. Your classic setup, high pressure to our west, low pressure to our east, that flow around that high and low kind of funnels between the two, and we see those gusty north winds. So something to kind of pay attention to. And then, of course, as we go into Tuesday, they start to kind of spread apart. So that means the winds will die down by Tuesday of next week, but still dry. You see that? That's a ridge of high pressure, once again, keeping us dry, at least for early next week. And that's why the Climate Prediction Center still has us in that drier than normal category and even warmer. But we're starting to see less and less of these darker oranges and reds and getting closer to the gray here, which would mean closer to normal for this time of the year. So what I'm seeing here when we look at the 10-day trend here, at least for Redding, yeah, temperatures above normal, right? And we're keeping it that way even through next week, but barely. So we're going from mid to upper 60s to low 60s by this weekend and through next week. And in fact, we may even be right around normal by the end of next week. This is the sign of a prolonged sign of change. It's going to take a while for us to really see any significant changes, but this is a sign that the ridge of high pressure is breaking down. This may open up the door slightly to allow some of these storms to move in, but at this point, I'm just not seeing anything significant through next week. All right, let's take a look at your wave heights, and you can see they're going to be fairly low here for today. Now, as we go into your Thursday, it looks like they may increase a little bit here, but shouldn't be that much of a concern. The bigger concern here for today will be the areas of fog. So if you do need to be on a small boat, do take note that you may run into some of that patchy, dense fog out there. Southwest winds at about 5 knots. Your waves from the west at 5 feet at about 14 seconds. So here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Those temperatures mainly in the low 60s for your daytime high. So maybe some morning drizzle on Thursday, early morning, and then maybe a chance for a shower or two on Saturday. Otherwise, it's dry for the next 7 days. And again, any chances for rain are just not looking all that significant. We take out to Blue Lake about 63, 62 degrees for Alder Point and Shelter Cove about 61. Up north, about 61 degrees for Klamath, 62 for Gas Key, and Hoopa, a high of about 60. And then we take out to Siskiyou County, temperatures mainly in the 40s, although places like Mount Shasta, 53, 56 out in Dunsmuir. There's that slight chance even on Saturday for Mount Shasta to maybe see a sprinkle or a light shower. Modoc County, you've got you dry for the next 7 days, 48 degrees for Tule Lake, 43 for California Pines, and Alturas, about 52 degrees. Your eastern mountains neighborhood forecast, those temperatures, 40s, 50s, even around 61 degrees for Shingletown, 62 in Paradise today, 45 for Janesville. After temperatures in the 30s for highs this week, looks like Susanville, you're going to be back up into the 40s for your daytime high today. Here's your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by Walgamith Painting. We do have those temperatures in the mid-60s, give or take. A little bit cooler to the south with Biggs at 61 as well as Gridley. Elk Creek about 66 degrees. Up north, about 65 for the Lakehead, 65 degrees for Whiskeytown. 68 degrees out in Palisadro, and 67 degrees for Anderson. All right, so let's take a look at that 7-day outlook for Redding. Temperatures upper 60s, could even be flirting with that 70-degree mark by Thursday, Friday. But there's that dip in the temperatures as we go into the weekend, and especially for early next week. That's your morning update. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll be back again at noon with your latest forecast. Till then, have a great morning.
& Mudford is a top, established firm here in the North State. Founded over a half-century ago, Barr & Mudford is protecting the rights of our neighbors and community. We take our commitment to our clients very seriously and provide a level of excellence unrivaled in the North State. Barr & Mudford, standing up for the rights of our neighbors and our beautiful community, serving Northern California with excellence.